forest whispered secrets. Celia stood at the edge, her breath misting in the crisp air. Shadows danced among the trees, beckoning her closer. It had been 2 months since she moved to this rural area, 2 months since her mother had passed. And yet some nights, she could hear her voice floating through the woods, sweet and familiar. It called her deeper, deeper into the dark embrace of the trees. At first she thought it was just her imagination. The wind, perhaps, but then one evening she ventured out. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. As the darkness enveloped her, she heard it again. "Celia, come to me." The voice was clearer this time, more insistent. It sent a shiver down her spine. She just had to follow the sound. Maybe, just maybe, this was a way to feel connected to her mother again. But as she walked deeper into the woods, a sense of unease settled over her. The trees seemed to close in around her, their gnarled branches like skeletal hands reaching out. And then she saw it, a dark shape among the shadows, shifting and twisting, as if it were made of the very darkness surrounding her. She froze, heart pounding, the call of her mother seeming to echo off the trees, now laced with something sinister. "Celia Saig, it's been so long." Her memories of her mother felt warped, twisted like the form lurking before her. And in that moment, she realized the truth. The voice she thought she knew was not her mother at all. It was something much darker, feeding on her grief, her loneliness. The forest had not only taken her mother, but was now taking her too. It was a trap, and she was the bait. As she turned to flee, the entity lunged forward, its form shifting, revealing glimpses of her past, memories she thought were buried. Her mother's gentle smile melting into a twisted grin. The woods echoed with laughter that was not her mother's as Celia stumbled back, gasping for breath. She had to confront this creature. But how could she fight something that knew her so intimately? The voice taunted her, morphing into whispers of doubt, each phrase a dagger. "You always wanted to be with me, didn't you?" The ground trembled beneath her feet, roots snaking up like fingers grasping at her ankles. Panic set in as she recalled her mother's last days, the frail body, the desperate gasps for air. She had been so consumed by grief, by the longing to hold on, that she hadn't wanted to accept the truth. Maybe the forest wasn't the monster, maybe it was her. With a sudden rush of clarity, she realized she had been lured here not just by the voice, but by her own unresolved feelings. The woods were a reflection of her mind, a labyrinth of pain and longing. Could she untangle the truth from the terror? As she steadied herself, the entity wailed, morphing into flashes of her earliest memories, her mother's laughter echoing, then fading into screams. Each memory twisted into a grotesque parody. The air grew thick, suffocating her. But Celia was no longer a passive victim. She fought against the memories, clawing her way through the shadows. "I won't let you take me," she screamed into the void. The creature paused, flickering as if uncertain. It trembled, revealing glimpses of her mother behind the darkness, a face twisted in agony. The horror was not just the entity, but the memories that had haunted her all along. In that moment, she understood. The voice was a reflection of her sorrow, of her heartache. If she wished to escape, she had to confront her past head on. She closed her eyes, focusing on the real moments with her mother, the warmth of her hug, the smell of her perfume. As she embraced the truth of her loss, the shadows began to dissipate, the dark shape wavering like smoke. "I miss you, but I need to let go," she cried out. A piercing scream erupted from the woods, resonating with her own pain. The forest began to shake violently as the entity shrieked in anger, twisting into itself. As Celia turned to run, she could feel warmth spreading through her heart where the cold had taken root. Every step away from the entity felt heavy, yet liberating. The forest thinned, revealing the first light of dawn. As she crossed the boundary of the trees, the oppressive darkness fell behind her, and with it, the voice faded. She stood at the edge of the woods, breathless and trembling. What had she left behind? The memories would still haunt her, but now they belonged to her past, not her present. In the days that followed, she would still hear whispers in the wind, but they were softer now, like a distant lullaby, reminding her that her mother was gone, but her love would always remain. And as the sun rose, painting the sky in shades of hope, Celia knew that she had survived. But the forest would always be there, a dark reminder, waiting for her to return.